What's up, guys? Rogue Scrubs here, coming at you with a Dino True King new IB thingy deck profile because this thing's broken and miscellaneous sources at 3.
Definitely not a rogue deck.
Absolutely a rogue deck. Not to mention, there's definitely a lot of fine adjustments I'm going to make to this list, and I'll explain to them as I go through. But the deck plays 46 cards as of right now. I think it should probably play 40, even though you do have some bricks. 3 Overraptor, standard.
Best card ever made.
3 miscellaneous,
Second best card ever made.
standard. 3 Babysaurus.
Other best card ever made.
I wouldn't change this ratio at all. This ratio is fucking broken.
Those are the best cards ever made.
Yeah. This card being at 3 is just fucking insane. I can't tell you how many times I dodged ogres and veilers with it today. That was pretty nice. But yeah, so those 9 dinos. Next up, I played 2 Coatless and 2 UTC. I think you should drop the second Coatless. And the reason is because of the fact that you're never going to like actually draw it and summon it most of the time. You can always have 1 and that's like fine. The game doesn't generally go past turn 1 with this deck, like at least not for you anyway, because you're trying to like essentially set up True Kings of all calamities, and once that hits the board, the game, like, it's very unlikely you get into a grind game. And if you do get into a grind game, you're always going to summon UTC. I highly doubt you're ever going to want to summon the Coatless. That's literally like only if you went into like, I don't know, turn 10 or something and you were trying to shuffle back Miscellaneous. It's not really worth it. So I think you should play 1. But yeah, I played 2 for the event. For the only hand trap I play is just 3 Ash unless you count Miscellaneous. This card makes perfect sense as the fact that, you know, it's fire and it's good for the True King. Speaking of which, we play 3 of the Fire True King. This is the best one, and I play 1 of the Water. I'm tempted to actually play 2 of the Water. The Water is really good. I underestimated how decent it can be. The only problem is you can't pop the baby with the water or anything, and you generally have any other waters in the deck. But nonetheless, it's still worthwhile, and the fact that it special summons 1 from deck when you pop it is pretty good as well. So yeah, that's 4. Potentially, I might play 5. For the level 9s, I played these 3. Okay, so out of all of them that are necessary, I think these 2 are absolutely necessary. You have to play the Nightmare Incarnation Idli, and you have to play the Thunder King Kaiju, because if you draw it, it's good. You want to have, like, you know, something that does something in your hand. The World Legacy thing, I think this thing's kind of garbage. You might want to play the Deus Ex Crawler thing. You can play a couple different level 9s, but there's really just no better one out there. You need a different type is the important part. But I think, like, the Thunder Kaiju is a really good touch. And I'll explain that as well with the side deck because it's important. But yeah, so those are the 3 level 9s I play. 1 Pranker Tops. It's good to main deck this card. I wouldn't take it out. 1 is fine because you can search it. Dogeron. I hated this card. Out of all, even though it's a searchable kaiju, and like I play the Lightning Strike one, I feel like this card in the main deck did nothing for me. In every game I drew it, it was just a brick rather than a help against like Orcus and stuff because everything else is a quick effect. So I'd probably cut this. Next up, for the next one up dinos, the Drac Alo, you have to play this card. If you draw it, it fucking sucks. I drew it like 9 times today. The Pentagram, 1 of the other baby, just to have like a little bit more consistency on trying to get like something for Diagram to pop. And of course the 1 Giant Rex is the perfect number ratio, so I don't think you should change these. I think this is a good number. I also played the Chosen of the World Chalice. Now, I think this card is ass cheeks. I don't think you should ever play the vanilla in the deck because the fact that you're just going to draw it and it's going to be garbage. If you do play the level 4 vanilla, you can do like the Miscellaneous and then Synchro with it, but I still think it's just not relevant. Even if this one's a fire to pop, it's just not good. I would not play it. I would take it out of the deck completely. I don't think summoning the extra World Chalice after you Synchro or Link Away Ib would be any decent. I don't think it's going to help you at all, so I think you should just cut this card. 3 Diagram, standard. 3 Fossil Dig, standard. 3 Call by the Grave. Pretty standard. I don't even know if like you absolutely need this card. Maybe. It's debatable for sure, but yeah. So that's pretty standard. 2 Pill, 3 is overkill, I think. And, yeah. 2 Terraforming, I want to see Diagram. Absolutely necessary. And then for the 1-ofs, I play 1 Foolish. Pretty standard. The 1 World Legacy thing to search off the Ib. And, of course, we play 1 Lost World and 1 Set Rotation. I like this card a lot. This card's like a really nice touch to add when it comes to being able to have another Terraforming target. It's also really good against Striker because you give them the token. And being able to have another way to get to the diagram is really, really nice. On to the extra. I played Mermaid, Nightmare package. And so this is why I said the Idli is really important, because you can summon the Idli out of your deck off of the Mermaid. That way, if you draw the World Legacy, like you can still make like King of Calamities, like kind of with only 2 monsters and any True King, because there are some times where you'll have like a hand and you don't have full combo or something like that, and so it's nice to be able to get that extra level 9. So I think this is worth it. And the Nightmare Service wasn't that bad today. So. Reproticus, Underclock, and B-Cop. These are all really, really standard Links 2s. I think you should play all of these. I don't think any of them are bad. They all have their kind of generic purpose. So, yeah. 1 decode. You make this to potentially... The idea behind this was that if I did do the full-blown combo with the Diagram and the Babysaurus, I would be able to end on decode and have not only True King, but like the Phantom thing, or Chosen by the World Chalice. So that way, if they tried to impermanence True King or Widow Anchor it, you could tribute this and prevent that from happening. So your True King of all calamities would always go through. For the last 2 links, I played Boral Load and Boral Sword. I don't know if this is even necessary. UTC is just so much damage by itself that this is probably overkill. Laggy and Dalka, these are necessary. These cards are broken. Wouldn't change them. And then True King, absolutely awesome. Just such an amazing card. It's so broken. The pop your own opponent's monsters also comes up. Like, don't like sleep on that. I like definitely missed it like once or twice at this tournament where I could have just like sealed the game out earlier. Not that I didn't win those games when I had the True King, but like yeah, it would have been faster had I just used this second effect. Phantom Fortress thing. This is essentially just your rank 9 Trish. You should definitely play this card. And then for the 2 synchros, I just play the Ib and the Cloud Castle. I don't find them necessary for Speedroid Chumbar or the anything else. So, yeah. That's the extra deck. On to the side deck. Side deck 1, the second Pranker Tops. I think this is a great side. I wouldn't change this either. Next up, I also side deck 2 more Kaiju. So I side deck 1 more Lightning and the Anti-Kaiju War Machine. And the reason for this is because I side deck 2 Slumber. I thought this was like a neat idea because of the fact that like, you could set your baby and then flip Slumber. Also, the fact that this one was level 9 and like you could summon it and then you could bring it back so your True King you couldn't get Kaiju'd or like your UTC can't get Kaiju'd. I thought like might be neat. It never came up. I don't think anybody was playing Kaiju's. Maybe some of the Orcus were, but it was almost never going to come up. So, but that was the idea behind it anyway. I don't know that it's bad. I might not cut it. So, 2 deck Goseka. Fuck Mystic Mine. Speaking of Mystic Mine, fuck Mystic Mine some more. 3 Twin Twisters necessary. 2 Lancia just for Orcust, and then the last 3 cards I played was Triple Evenly. This card is terrible in this deck, I realized, because you always want to have your battle phase. UTC does way more than Evenly ever would. So it's generally just better to probably side something else over the Evenly matched. But yeah, that's the deck profile essentially. So yeah, Rogue Scrubs out.